What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the St. Thomas Dynasty here on NCAA 14. This is John J. Gaming on the mic, and today we return home after 2 consecutive games on the road against Auburn and Miami. We are taking on the UNLV Rebels, who are 2-1 on the season right now, but they're not that great of a team. It's probably the worst FBS team that will play so far this season. You know, C+, C, B-. It's a game that we can win if our defense can play as well as it did in the FCS game, but our offense definitely has to step up, and we need them to step up too if we want to have a chance to save our season. So it should be a good one. But before I get into it, I want to introduce you guys to a brand new custom recruit in my boy Corey Johnson. You guys knew him as BJ Pittman. He originally was a strong safety, but came over to free safety during the season to be our third string safety. He isn't redshirted technically. I'll always want to have at least 3 strings of guys before I start redshirting folks. But Corey Johnson, he is our newest custom recruit, and he is going to be a true freshman playing free safety. Enough talking from me though. It should be a good game though, so let's go ahead and jump into some game action. If you haven't done so already, I encourage you to hit that like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you are brand new, as I would truly appreciate it. Let's go ahead and jump into this game. Alright, so we start things off here today with UNLV starting with the ball first, as we're trying to figure out what they're going to do. And first thing it happens is William Swan gets into the backfield, and we're off to a fantastic start. This defense is so much better than last year. Hopefully our offense can come to play today, as they throw a short throw over the middle to Antonio Clark. Does manage to pick up all that yards back and a little bit more, makes it a little bit more manageable of a 3rd and 6. And then they drop back on this pass here. He's actually going to scramble, and the quarterback Brandon Martinez picks up the first down. And so what I thought was going to be a quick 3 and out for us, it was definitely not a 3 and out. The UNLV drive continues, but they drop the next pass though, because they felt the footsteps of Derek Jackson. And now, thanks to a penalty and a thrown away pass, it's 3rd and 15, and there's Aaron Moore bringing him to a stop and giving us the ball. Now, the bad news for us is that once we did get the ball, we did absolutely nothing. It was a 3 and out. So now UNLV, they have the ball back once again, and it's Martinez scrambling upfield. And it's going to go for a first down, and for the first time today, UNLV is in St. Thomas territory. But we're going to bring him back out of that because Brandon Martinez is sacked for a loss. It's William Swan once again for the 2nd time today getting to his quarterback. And now it's 3rd and long. Martinez is going to watch a Jeep. It's underthrown. I try to get onto that user for Fitzpatrick. It completely backfired. And now we're losing this game 7-0. Okay, so let's see if our offense can get something going here. It's already 3rd and 6. But we do end up finally picking a first down. It only took us a couple drives this time around to get that done, thanks to Kevin Stone making the catch. Definitely the best offensive player on our team, and we're going to keep going to him as he's able to helicopter to around the 35-yard line. It's another great catch for Kevin Stone. But now we have a 3rd and 10 coming up here. John Wilson is looking, and it's another great throw, this time to Matt Williams, making a fantastic catch as Matt Williams gives us a first. And that's the end of the first quarter. It's only 7-0, but we have a chance here to tie this thing right back up. Alright, so welcome back to the St. Thomas game here on NCAA 14. John Wilson is going to start this quarter off, actually keeping it on the option, and it's going to easily pick up the first down. Setting up 1st and goal for your Tommies football team. It's going to go to Denny Dilkins, who gets into the end zone. And your Tommies just tied this thing up thanks to the custom recruit from Season 1. And now we got ourselves a tie ball game here at 7. UNLV is set to take over. It's going to be a run to the right-hand side. It looks completely blocked. It could be trouble, as Joel Hampton is finally brought down by Jeff Arnold. But now UNLV's drive looks like it could stall here, as now it's 3rd and 7 a couple plays later as we get to this quarterback, but he gets it off to the slant just in time. Vince Ross gets just enough for the first, and their drive can keep going here. As a couple of plays later here, Martinez is going to be sacked in the backfield, and look who it is. It's Chris Hill making another great stop, as this defensive line has been a bright spot for us so far this season. It has been pretty, but the D-line has been playing well. And thanks to that D-line, we do get the 3 and out, as now we're going for St. Thomas does have the ball right back. Opportunity to take the lead here as Denny Dilkins, off of a little halfback angle, picks up the first. You love to see that, as now it looks like our offense is finding a little rhythm as we get to Dilkins again. He makes a man miss initially and is able to pick up another first down, already almost at midfield. Next play, it's John Wilson sitting in the pocket. He's going to throw it to Kevin Stone. He's there right around the first down marker. They're going to give it to him. Gotta love these NCAA 14 refs sometimes, but right now we're not complaining, as John Wilson, this time he's going to scramble to his right. He is going to go ahead and keep it, and is going to slide down it. Almost gets that first down. It's going to be a 2nd and inches coming up. Next play, I'm going to see if we can get something going here in the little spacer, and we get the first down easily, but Freddie Gibson is lit up. You don't like to see that from your tight ends. Usually the tight ends are the one doing those kinds of hits, but this time it was reverse as we get to Kevin Stone on the next play. Man went from having hands of stone to having hands like Allstate, because he's got good hands. As now we got a 2nd and 1 coming up here. We're going to throw to the left to Ryan Sanders, our true freshman at fullback, who's got some speed on it. Almost gets back up, but is eventually brought down at about the 10-yard line here. As we got about 2.5 minutes left here in this first half. We're going to hand it off to Dilkins, who gets back up, but then is brought right back down immediately. Probably should have stayed down there if hindsight was 20/20. He took an even bigger shot the second time. But now, 2nd and 5. Wilson, he's going to just try to throw it away, but he does get hit, but it doesn't count as a sack. So we got a reasonable 3rd and 5 coming up here. Wilson's going to drop back, throw over the middle to Andrew Green. He can't get into the end zone, but it does count as a 1st and goal. And we're going to try to finish things out with a run up the gut to our fullback. Gotta reward a big fella every once in a while, and he's gonna help us take a 14-7 lead here at Osh Hall Stadium, and that is gonna take us to halftime. Hopefully we can finish this out and get finally our first win of the season. We really need it. Alright, so now welcome back to some St. Thomas action. We are here in the second half where we have a 14-7 lead. UNLV is actually going to cut up the middle, and first thing they do is take that touchdown lead away from us. It is now suddenly a tie ball game. What a change of offense. So now let's see if we can get that lead right back. Definitely don't want to get into a shootout with these guys because our offense is not nearly as good as last year. But Kevin Stone still makes that great catch. He's there from last year. And he's even better than last year. You love to see that. As we throw it now to Kevin Stone again. Thought we were going to throw it to Matt Williams, but we go to the right at our last second. He's having a really good game, actually. 6 catches for 80 yards. Having a heck of a performance so far. And look at that. That's catch number 7. Taking him up to almost 100 yards receiving. Dude has definitely low-key carry our offense. Now we're looking at a 1st and 10. We're going to go up the middle to the speedster, Chad McKenzie. He's able to do a quick scamper upfield to nearly to the first down marker. But now we got a 3rd and 5. A couple plays later, we're there to risk it. We're not going to risk it for the biscuits, so we're going to go ahead and just take the sack. And unfortunately, that takes us out of field goal range. So we had to punt the ball right away. So now here we go. Less than 3 minutes left. It's still a tie ball game. Let's see if our boys can get a stop here as they go up the middle It's going to carry Chris Hill for a little bit of a ride, and nearly picks up the first down in the process. Next play for the Rebels. Martinez is in the shotgun. He's going to throw to a wide open Clark, but he lit up like a Christmas tree. At least we make him pay for it. Hoping that was going to cause a fumble, but we're not as lucky. As now Martinez throwing to the right. It's to Clark again. Antonio Clark stretching us low-key for the second time on this drive. Got to find a way to key up on that because they're starting to find a rhythm, and you don't like to see that. We don't want to give these guys a lead. As Hampton finds a lane, Brian Cook is able to eventually bring him down from behind for a gain of 21 on that play. As now UNLV is approaching the red zone. Let's see if they can take their first lead of this game. Actually, not the first lead, but the first lead of this half. As Joel Hampton brings them to a 2nd and 4. Next play, Martinez is going to drop back. He's going to find open Scott Abrams just sitting in our zone and took advantage of a soft spot. Was able to find the first down as UNLV really wants that touchdown. He's going to throw to the right to Abrams, and he's simply too fast for Joel White. He was there but couldn't make the play in time, and now UNLV has a 21-14 lead. So now we really need to get some points on the board. You don't want to see these guys take a 2-score lead. Don't want that for our offense, but we done goofed as we throw an interception on the first play of the drive. It's our first turnover of the day. It's going to be costly as they are starting with fantastic field position on the 30-yard line. We did do pretty well the first couple of plays. But now 3rd and 11, Martinez, he's looking around trying to find somebody. But Josh Parker and Chris Hill both get in there. Josh Parker is going to be credited with the sack, and they're going to have to try for this field goal attempt. As UNLV is going to try to take a 10-point lead. The kick is up, and it's off the crossbar. And so that sack is going to be the difference as we get a stand on defense. And now we go into the end of the 3rd quarter with some nice momentum to work with. We're down by 1 score, but let's see if we can get our first win of this season. So now, John Wilson ready to take his Tommies out onto the field. And right now it's not a great start. It's a pretty bad throw, actually. I don't even know what he was trying to do there. So now it's 3rd and 7 here. Gotta get a first down here. We find Mark McDaniel, who makes a fantastic catch for us. Gain of 17, as now we're on UNLV territory. Next play, Wilson over in the middle to Mark McDaniel. He drops it this time. Oh, that would have been good yards. So now we have a 3rd and 7 a couple plays later. Could be a stalled out drive. But wait a minute, Dilkins has a convoy. He doesn't have the wheels though. That could have been a touchdown. He had all the grass in front of him. Fortunately, got caught from behind. As now Ryan Sanders, he's gonna nearly bring us to the first down marker on the next one. So now 2nd and 1 coming up here. Wilson gonna throw to Matt Williams, and he drops the pass that would have tied the ball game. As now we have a 3rd and 1 coming up here. John Wilson didn't like what he saw going into the line, so he's going to change the play. Doesn't like what he saw there, and he's going to change the play again. This time it's something quick. Wilson, he's going to look around. He doesn't see anybody. He's going to try to run for the first down, and he fumbles it. And it's picked up by Fahani. And Fahani, oh my goodness, he's going to pick up the fumble. So now UNLV has the ball, and now if there is any time to get a stop, we need to stop right now. If they get a touchdown here, this game is likely going to be over, and they get an instant first down to Vince Ross. Going to carve us up for 16 on that one. Man, what an unfortunate series of events. That could have been a tie ball game. That pass was caught, but now a little bit later, a fumble now gives UNLV the ball. And they can definitely, maybe not necessarily completely quench the game, but they can definitely put a dagger in us right here, right now, if we don't stop these guys from getting points on the board. So hopefully our guys can get it done. So now 2nd and 3 coming up for the Rebels. Is Martinez dropping back the pass, finding another short zone. This time is Randy Gibson making the catch for us. Gain of 13 on that one. And now they are officially in St. Thomas territory as Martinez is going to drop back again. This time it's to Ross. I'm surprised that they haven't started to run the ball a little bit more. I know they had some struggles with that earlier this season. But now it's a 3rd and 1. It's a great time to get a stop. And Swan almost gets to the quarterback and get a sack. But finds Jeff Smith at the very last second. And now the drive is going to continue for the Rebels as they try to go up the middle. Hampton somehow stays up, takes our guys for a ride. But thankfully, we do get a little bit of support. And I believe that was William Swan who made that tackle. Or it was O.J. Robertson. Not quite sure who made that tackle, but glad that he made it as Hampton picks up another 1st down, and we're going to have to be forced to take our first timeout. Next play for the Rebels, Butry goes into the motion. It's actually a play action, but they go out of bounds. I have no idea why you would throw the ball towards the sideline. You have the time on your side here. As now Hampton, we bring him down. That's going to be a 4th down. I don't think they risk it. They're going to probably go for the field goal. But wait a minute. The booth reveal goes into play. And they're going to try to look at the spot of the ball. This could be a really big call. I don't think they get it. I'm pretty sure that they made the right call the first time. You know, they might move it a little bit. But it shouldn't be a 1st down in my opinion. Nothing tells me that it's conclusive. But man, look at this. You know how NCAA 14 is. They actually are going to overturn the call. And UNLV has a fresh 1st down. They're going to take advantage of it right away as Hampton goes into the end zone. It's going to give UNLV a 28-14 lead here with less than 2 minutes left. As we're going to try now to get into our no huddle. A desperate attempt to come back in this game, but there's the final straw as we throw it another interception. And that right there is how this game is going to end. We lose 28-14. Such a heartbreaker because we were in a position to win and it just doesn't happen for us. Luck or skill or anything for that matter was not on our side during the course of the 2nd half. And so this is how the game is going to end. Alright, so checking out the stats for our boys today, and John Wilson actually didn't start out too bad. He had his best game of the season, 22 for 31, 241 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Definitely need to cut down the mistakes. We could never get the running game going, but we did get Ryan Sanders into the end zone. That's his first collegiate touchdown, so that's a huge congrats to him at the very least. Receivers, you know, we passed the ball quite a bit, and you know, Kevin Stone and Denny Dilkins both played huge roles. Kevin Stone led us in catches and yards. Denny Dilkins caught the only touchdown pass of the day, also had 6 catches for 61 yards in today's game. Then our defense, man, our defense did another phenomenal job. I will say that this defense is so much more improved than it was last year, and it's anchored by a couple of guys. You know, we got Derek Jackson, who led us in tackles today, had 8 total tackles, 2 of those for a loss. But let's talk about our boy William Swan, though. 7 tackles, 6 of them are for a loss, 3 sacks. It definitely was not his fault that we lost this game. And then we also got sacks from guys like Josh Parker, for example. Joel White got a sack. Chris Hill, he got a sack as well. And Aaron Moore all had sacks. We had 7 sacks today, so our defensive line did an amazing job. It's just a shame that we ended up losing this football game anyways. So thanks to that loss, we now fall to 0-4 on the season, and we gotta go back to the drawing board. And it's not gonna get any easier, because now we play against Cal once again, and this time they're ranked number 24 in the country. And it's gonna be a tough game, but we almost beat these guys last year on our senior day. Maybe we can find some magic in this game. That's all I have for today's episode, though. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's installment of the St. Thomas Dynasty. If you enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you happen to be brand new to the channel, I appreciate it if you subscribe as well. This is John J Gaming on the mic, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care, everybody.